ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity were not only the key terms of the French Revolution. These were the life force behind Romanticism also. Rousseau gave his message into the world in 1870s, which is not called Preromantic period in English. Preromantic is a cultural movement in Europe from about the 1740s onward. It succeeded Neoclassicism and proceeded and presaged Romanticism, which officially began in 1719 with the publication of the lyrical ballades by Wordsworth and Coleridge. Preromantic is thought to have prepared the ground to Romanticism in this full sense. In various ways, these are all departures from the orderly framework of Neoclassicism and its authorized genres.
I'm going to talk about some characteristics in the Preromantic. Interest in humanitarian movements and reforms, origin of labor standards, child labor laws, slave trade, mental health, and penal reform. Accurate observation of nature taught without mysticism, sometimes with the suggestions that nature has religious significance. Other characteristic in the Preromanticism is the interest in kindness toward animals. A democratic attitude is tied of the rights and dignity of man, and on the freedom of the individual socially and politically. Attacks upon wrongs in the established order or in conventional usage, political, economical, social, or educational. Also, the development of literary theories and literary criticism, stressing the relatively greater importance of the imaginative, emotional, intuitive, free individual, and particular over the rational, formal, and general exhalation of Shakespeare, Spenser, and Milton period of violent and revolutionary spirit, especially in America and France.
Preromanticism in Europe. In Switzerland, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, 1712 to 1778, a native of Geneva, is one of the earliest Preromantic writers and had a great influence throughout Europe. Rousseau affirmed in his speech on the equality between men, 1755, that civilization has a basement. In Britain, England is considered the cradle of Romanticism, just as the Renaissance has emerged in Italy, the Baroque in Spain, or Neoclassicism in France. The most important writers of this move in England is Jack Henry, Etienne Piper, Baron Auguste, and other different writers. In Italy, we can find another different writers, for example, Ugo Foscolo, Melchiorre Satori, and other difference. In Russia, Romanticism was called sentimentalism, and his most characteristic author is Nikolai Karamzin, with sentimental novels such as Por Lisa.
Thomas Gray, William Cowper, William Blake, Robert Burns, and James Thomson are considered as the most noted pre-romantic poets, painters, and literature. Thomas Gray is regarded as the foremost pre-romantic poet. Gray was so self-critical and fearful that he published only 13 poems during his lifetime. Thomas Gray was a poet, letter writer, classical scholar, and professor of Cambridge University. Elegy Written is a country churchyard is Gray's masterpiece, and he is remembered today for this immortal elegy. He is often classed as a graveyard poet for his melancholic notes. William Blake wrote the poem Tiger. He was held by his contemporaries and had to suffer extreme hardship and died as an unsung poet cum painter of his country. William Blake today is recognized today as a precursor of romantic literature and painting. William Cowper was a poet and hypnotist, one of the most popular poets of his time. Cowper changed the direction of 18th century nature poetry by writing of everyday life and scenes of the English countryside. Samuel Taylor called him the best modern poet. James Thomson was a Scottish and British Preromantic poet and playwright. He is known today for his masterpiece, The Season, and the lyrics of Rule Britannia.
Difference between Neoclassicism and Preromanticism. During the 18th century, French classical ideas from the previous century, Neoclassicism, triumphed in Europe, but at the same time, a radical opposite reaction is being forget in several countries. The term Neoclassicism arose in the 18th century to refer to the aesthetic movement that came to reflect the intellectual principle of the Enlightenment in the arts, which had been taking place in philosophy since the mid-18th century and had consequently been transmitted to all spheres of culture. Although, coinciding with the decline of Napoleon Bonaparte, Neoclassicism was losing followers in favor of Romanticism. For us to understand the difference, we will first talk about the definition of each one. Neoclassicism was inspired and imitated styles of classical antiquity and historical and mythological themes. Greek style, nudes, and bombastic and cool poses abound. Highly studied and academic. It is an art full of rules, where drawing is important while coloring is considered secondary. He normally runs away from movement and represents frozen, stable, and predictable. We could choose many masters such as Ingles, Jerus, or Proudhon, but the clearest and most profile was Jacques Louis David, 1848 to 1825, and these are the 5 works on the side of the exhibition. Romanticism arises and has a reaction to Neoclassicism. It is an art of feeling, raptures and fairy, full of strength and freedom. Artists claim free creation without submitting to rules. Passion is expressed with violence. Rampant movement is so. Opposite reason prevalent in Neoclassicism. Sentiment is now opposed and therefore in individual style. The theme also changed. They are inspired by the night, the rings, with nature, madness, death, cemeteries, tragedies, freedom and patriotism. Nostalgia and hopeless are exalted. Technically, the strength of color stands out in powerful contrast, rap and unbalanced postures, gesticulation and sharp chiaroscuro. Among the most outstanding painters, we mention Herrical and Delacroix. Romanticism arises and has a reaction to Neoclassicism, and is an art or feeling, rapturous and fairy, full of strength and freedom. Facing reason, predominate or Neoclassicism. Sentiment is now opposed, and therefore it is an individual style.